So I had something completely different planned for today's episode. I was all ready to talk about one specific thing, then all of a sudden Comixology came along and blew up my Twitter feed. So here we are talking about that. This happened over the weekend, and this is going to go live on Wednesday. So the news may be a little late, but you know what? I feel like this is a topic that's not going to go away anytime soon. So we should probably still discuss it. So over the weekend, Comixology announced they were making changes to their iOS and Android apps. Over on Android, they've removed Google Play payments as a way to buy comics in-app. Now they only let you buy comics either through PayPal or from your credit card directly. Pretty much exactly how it is on their website. Now I don't really have any Android devices to see the extent of this change. All I have is a Kindle Fire, and that version of the store seems to be remaining the same. But if you read the comments on the Google Play Store, nobody seems to be too happy about this change. Like, at all. Because now, instead of using Google Wallet, like literally every other app in the Android marketplace, Comixology is forcing you to have a separate payment option specifically for them. But if you ask me, that's not so bad, especially when you consider what they did to the iOS version. Over on iPad and iPhone, they pulled and discontinued support for their original app. It's not there anymore. In its place is a dedicated reader app that just reads. You can't buy comics from it at all. You can add comics you don't already own to a wish list to buy them later from the website, but the process is not very intuitive through the app. So what's going on here? Why did they completely change the way you buy comics on Android and completely remove the option to buy comics on iOS? Let's start from here and then work our way up. See, Apple and Google both take a 30% cut of all purchases made within their respective ecosystems. For example, let's look at DC's Injustice comics. Each single issue is $1. I'm rounding up because it makes my life easier, shut up. Every time you buy an issue of Injustice on your iPad, Comixology has to give Apple 30 cents. That leaves 70 cents to divide in half between Comixology and DC. And then DC divides it up however the hell they want to divide it up. By forcing you to buy comics directly from their website, Comixology gets more money from every purchase, and in turn, the publishers get more money, or in the case of indie comics, the actual creators get more money. And yeah, that's great for them, but it's not exactly great for the consumer, now is it? You see, you have to understand, customers are really lazy people. We don't like to do a lot of work. We want our comics and we want them now, not 5 minutes from now, after we've gone to Safari, went to the website, searched for the comic, bought the comic, went back to the app, downloaded the comic from the cloud to the hard drive, and then opened the comic to read. Now before you all rush to the comments and write something like, oh, Big Baby doesn't want to work to get his comics, keep in mind that the more roadblocks you put on the path to get to something, the more likely people are just going to give up halfway through. Now let's move up a level. What could have put this in their mind that selling comics directly from their app is a bad idea? Now it's not right to name names and point fingers or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure it's Amazon's fault. I'm sure you've all heard by now that in early April, Amazon bought Comixology. And at the time, everybody was wondering, what could this mean for the service? Now, for the most part, everybody seemed pretty optimistic about it. The general consensus was that with Amazon's resources, this would be a great way to push comics to a wider audience. As was I. However, when people would ask me how I felt about it, I'd always mention that you can't buy Kindle books on the Kindle app on iOS, because Apple and Amazon don't exactly get along over that 30% cut they take. And now here we are, living in a reality where you can't buy comics through Comixology, even after both parties said that nothing would change about the service. Now, like I said earlier, the pro is that Apple and Google don't get that 30% cut, and more money goes to the publishers and creators. That's good. Also, this seems to be a really good way to circumvent Apple's weird banning of books like Saga and Sex Criminals. But that doesn't negate the fact that the biggest con now is that they've made comics harder to get access to. And we live in a world where comic books are not exactly the most popular form of entertainment. So giving people easy access to comics is essential for this industry to survive. Now, I mentioned in a previous episode that Dark Horse Comics are not on Comixology. They have their own separate store that they use. They also have their own app for iOS and Android. And while it's not as good as Comixology's was, it's gotten better over the last few months in terms of user experience, and you can make in-app purchases, which I never thought would be a factor. Also, other publishers like DC, Marvel, Boom, IDW, Image, they all have their own apps that are powered by Comixology. And in those apps, you can still make in-app purchases. So why the change on the main app? This is especially baffling when you consider that Comixology is the #1 highest grossing non-gaming app on the iOS marketplace. In fact, I think it was last year, they were the 3rd highest grossing app overall. So the fact that Apple takes 30% doesn't seem like it was hurting them all that much. So what are we going to do about this? Do we go out and boycott Amazon and Comixology? I wouldn't go that far. First of all, both are great services still. They just did a really stupid thing. It's kind of like when your dog takes a poop in the living room. You still love it, but you're really mad at it because it did a stupid thing. Also, you can't boycott Amazon. They're everywhere. And you try living without 2-day free shipping. Plus, by boycotting Comixology, you wouldn't just be hurting their business, you'd be hurting comics in general. I'm sure a change is going to be made at some point. I'm sure enough people are going to complain that they have to address it in one form or another. And like I said, highest grossing non-game app. There's no way they're not going to miss all that revenue. Now, I should mention that to ease the pain, Comixology gave anybody with an existing account a $5 voucher towards whatever they want in the store. My suggestion, go use that voucher towards anything on Comixology Submit. That's a page where indie creators upload their comics directly to Comixology, no publisher. So the money is split 50-50 between Comixology and the actual artist. And there's some good books there too, like Pawn Shop and Aw Yeah comics. This way the money goes directly to the creators and that'll give them more incentive to make more books. And that's all I have to say on this whole kerfuffle. Let me know what you think down in the comments below or on Facebook and Twitter. Let me know what you think should be done about this change, or if you're okay with it. Who knows, maybe you are. As always, like if you like, subscribe if you really like, share this video with your friends who use Comixology and don't know about this change for whatever reason. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Let's say you're reading The Flash, and you've been really liking it so far. About 15 issues in, the creative team changes, and the book you knew is now something completely different.
So you could say it's a Let's Play. You know, most popular videos are YouTube Let's Play videos.
Yeah.
Bet you didn't know that, Ellen. Today, we're playing Ellen's game. Damn it, I just locked it.